YouTube, welcome in. Cat with Blue Hat uploaded a 25 things you might miss in Paralogism 5.6 Archon quest Genshin Impact lore video. This was literally uploaded like an hour ago, 2 hours ago. So we're gonna watch this with Twitch chat, and this will probably be on YouTube tomorrow, actually. It's a long one though, 23 minutes. Spoiler alert, obviously. If you haven't done the Paralogism quest yet, please click off. The third ingredient. During the quest when Barbeloth meets with Alice, he asks for the flesh of that immortal monster for the Mare Jivari. Yeah, by the way, insane thing to just randomly spur out. Bro, when he asked for this, I was like, this was like the second most jarring thing Barbeloth said during this whole quest, other than the fact that Rhinedottir ate a shade. Yeah, crazy, dude. Absolutely insane. It could be referencing the legendary phoenix which lives in the Mare Jivari. Oh, true. The kings and people living nearby worship the phoenix in that area. However, whether the region was habitable during that time is still unknown. The Lava War cassette mentions of a sage who created an artifact to walk through the fires of Mare Jivari. The sage could be alive during this time, and the fires might have been caused by the phoenix. Bro, artifact lore is something as well. I know Nodcry is going to be addressing this, but there's so much lore in artifacts that could pertain to the real quests and stuff. It's kind of crazy. Is the volume still good, chat? Let me know. I think it should be. From Iktomi Spirit Seeking Scrolls event, we know that some weird things are happening in the Mare Jivari.
People started speaking of an enormous dark creature the size of a mountain, roaming around inside the Mare Jivari.
Wait, the size of a mountain? Why do people say this so often? Why is this a thing? Why did we say little guy was going to be the size of a mountain? And then why did Paimon say that she's going to be the size of like 3 mountains? Why do we use mountains as a reference? We use feet and inches, centimeters sometimes. Why in Teyvat is it mountains? Weird. Weird. Does this mean Barbeloth visited the Mare Jivari in the past? Wait, that is also a very good point. How did he know about that? The other 2 ingredients he used were already direct creations of his master Rhinedottir. Yeah, also freaky creations, by the way. Like an embryo.
The raw material from which she created her monsters in the past. There's not much of it left.
Gross, dude. So perhaps the immortal monster of the Mare Jivari was also one of Rhinedottir's creations. Oh, dude, imagine that. If you interact with Durin's heart after Barbeloth takes out the core, we get this dialogue which suggests us to go to visit Orban. Oh no, it won't be able to absorb any vitality like this. Let's just go report back to Orban. What? Wait, I don't think I got that dialogue, did I? That dialogue is bugged? Yeah, I was gonna say I had question marks and that was it. The hell? Orban was part of the world quest The Festering Fang, where we bring him Durin's teeth or dragon tooth. Wait, I don't think I ever did that quest. Wait, did I never do that quest? Is that why? There's no shot, right? He asks us to infuse the tooth with dragon-related vitality so that he can forge a weapon out of it. It is a cool-ass weapon. To do this, the traveler uses the vitality from Durin's heart to enhance the tooth. However, if you do this quest after completing Paralogism... Oh, shoot! Wait. Guys, maybe I can do this. I actually don't know if I've done this quest on main. I know I haven't on my ult because I remember specifically not doing it. There won't be any of Durin's vitality left to infuse with the dragon tooth. Wait, so what happens? What do you do? As a solution, Orban gives us a runestone that Knights of Favonius got 1,000 years ago. Of course they did. Yeah, sorry. Fuck it. He says they got it from a monster known as Bakunawa in Mare Jivari? Brother, why do people suddenly know about this that are living in Mondstadt? What the fuck is going on? If we assume this monster to be another one of Rhinedottir's creations... Brother, what? It makes sense why it can vitalize the dragon tooth which is from Durin. However, it's also possible that this was just a random abyss-corrupted dragon from Natlan. Yeah, but even then, how does he know about it? Other than this monster, there is one more thing which is much weirder about Mare Jivari. When Jivari? Who's Jivari? Why is Jivari? Why is Gamora? And that is Mare Jivari's oh, wait, there is actually one more thing. Oh. What? That is Mare Jivari's timeline and its impossible existence. What do you mean by this? The runestone Orban gives us is something that the Knights of Favonius received from the Wanderer's Troop. If you didn't know, the Wanderer's Troop was a group of warriors who loved music. They travelled all across Teyvat in their journeys. In their final years, they tried to fight against Mondstadt's corrupt aristocracy and failed. Rip bozos. After the group was mostly forgotten, the surviving members helped Vanessa in her rebellion. Okay. As you may have guessed, this all happened around 1,000 years ago. But recently we found out exactly when the Mare Jivari was created.
The Mare Jivari was reduced to a desolate wasteland after that big battle. Or rather, it became known as the Mare Jivari after what happened there.
Well, she did just say after that big battle. What if it was the Archon War and not the Cataclysm? Or was it clear? I don't remember. How could a group of warriors from 1,000 years ago visit a place that only existed from 500 years ago? Does it specify which big battle? This feels like a plot hole, but even Paimon questions Orban about this inconsistency. Wait, really? He says Mondstadt's history can't be wrong because it was recorded in official records. While the Traveler questions if the Wanderer's Troop really was from 1,000 years ago. It seems like Mare Jivari is not just a simple wasteland we previously thought it was. The Lava Walker's set happenings also bring inconsistencies into the region's history. Wait, this is so crazy. The only logical way to explain it is that there seems to be some kind of time distortion happening in that region. Yo, are we finally gonna get some frickin' God of Time lore? I forgot her name. Oh my god, how do I forget her name, dude? Wait, how? I can't remember. What did that just say? Let me see. The Windless Beast. Istaroth, Jesus, yes. If you remember my previous videos, I theorized Venti's connection with the ruler of time, Istaroth. I just had to wait a second. One of the four shades. There's also this famous quote.
Seeds of story brought by the wind. And cultivated by time.
How'd you know that? It's heavily implied that time and wind are very closely related in Teyvat. Yeah, it is. Guess which region is famously known as the Windless Land of Teyvat?
But the one thing I can never forget is that he died in a windless land.
It is the Mare Jivari.
His spirit can never be recovered.
Yeah. Which now makes it the Timeless Land of Teyvat. Oh my god, bro. And, wait, and it's near Natlan, and we have dragons and dinosaurs. Oh my god, it's the land before time. Oh my god. And then it's also, wait, we've already done Journey to the Center of the fucking Earth in that last Saurian quest. Now we've got the land before time. Oh, this is crazy. Oh my god, it's actually insane. This gives new meaning to Venti's story quest should you be trapped in a windless land. It could now mean being trapped in a timeless land. Time-distorted place. This could explain why it just appeared from Teyvat a few years ago. Littlefoot will be there. Oh my god, guys. Little guy. Just saying.
That place is full of untold dangers and mysteries. Over the centuries, the finest adventurers have tried to prove themselves by venturing in. Sadly, most ended up perishing there. That lasted up until around 20 or 30 years ago, when strange
Crazy,
things
man.
started
I gotta
happening.
open my drink. Hold on,
And then,
gamers.
shortly after that, the whole region just completely disappeared. Nobody knows how, but that infamously ominous place just
Yeah, that's kinda
vanished
nuts.
from the face of the world.
I don't believe it. Perhaps Mare Jivari is a place where the concept of time loses its meaning. Maybe past, present, and future exist at the same time, which might explain Wanderer's Troop's bizarre timeline. I mean, to be fair, this could be a thing. We do have interwoven timelines as a big theory from Ashikai and a few other people, right? What was the Ashikai theory where it's like time something time? Cube time? Box time? Something like that? It could be that. There's also another place where we've seen timeline distortion effect before, Inazuma with the Sacred Sakura. I think. Well, not the Sacred Sakura, but... yes, Makoto's Realm of Consciousness where A fought against the Shogun for 500 years. And guess who was involved in that as well? Istaroth.
A place where time is meaningless and
Istaroth.
cannot be understood with ordinary logic. I know what you mean. Perhaps a higher power really was involved in all of this.
Y'all think Istaroth as a shade is just chilling at the Mare Jivari? I bet. I bet. 100%. With so much time distortion happening in that region along with the lack of wind, it makes it feel like something big related to Animal might be the one to cause this. What could be something as big as a mountain and powerful enough to make a whole region disappear? I like how they put Ganyu on screen then. Probably Ganyu's ass, dude. Didn't it choke like a monster or something? Perhaps the monster that's distorted and causing the lack of wind in the Mare Jivari is none other than the animal sovereign of Teyvat, who is now called Bakunawa. Just knowing how big a pep is, this could very likely be possible. That is true. That could be kind of cool, dude. With how close the element of animal is related to time, the animal dragon could be in the Mare Jivari. That is true. The dragon could be corrupt due to Abyss, which has stopped all wind in the region. Maybe? Just as how Nahida was worried of all of Sumeru being destroyed if a pet were to die. Wasn't the animal sovereign Dvalin? No.
Fails to hang on. The elemental
Not that we don't.
inside it will no longer be able to maintain its form, and will all be
Oops.
dispersed. Giant trees will completely block out the sun. Plants and humans will fight over oxygen. Sumeru will no longer be suitable for sustaining life.
God. Maybe Mare Jivari is a place where the animal dragon ended up dying in the past or future. Which could be the reason behind the lack of wind in the region. Did you just call Nahida a stupid kid? You did. Go play with your radish. Oh my god. Hey, YouTube. Kill plumage. In-game. Mini Durin. Oh, true, dude. Cutie. During the quest, we meet Mini Durin in Barbeloth's office. If you didn't know who he is, think of him as the ideal Durin who wasn't corrupted by the Abyss. Durin was an abyssal dragon created by Rhinedottir in Caria. During the Cataclysm 500 years ago, he appeared in Mondstadt and caused destruction. After Dvalin defeated him, Durin's body landed on Dragonspine where his toxic blood was contained. In his mind, Durin assumed he was simply playing with Dvalin and Mondstadt's people. However, unaware that his toxic blood and abyssal body was destroying Mondstadt. Crazy, dude. Even after being killed by Dvalin and Barbeloth, instead of hating them for it, he simply wished he could have met them like a normal person without his poisonous blood. What a good guy. In the past, 3 mages from the Hexenzirkel, Alice, Barbeloth, and Anders' daughter, created a miniature simulation of Teyvat by mirroring its fate and named it Simulanka. Bro, Simulanka, I know I say it all the time, but it really is the gift that keeps on giving, and I feel like there's still more to come. I still feel like that when we go sit in that throne in Simulanka, and we sit there just like Capitano sits in the throne, dude, and then we get back up later, Capitano's gonna get back up later, and fucking gonna become playable and shit. It's gonna be crazy, dude. It's gonna be crazy, mark my words. As such, the fate of people or toys in Simulanka was the same as the one in Teyvat.
I did a quick scry when I came into this world, and when I saw the stars' reflections, I was at a loss for words. It looks like fate in Simulanka is based directly on Teyvat.
Exactly, dude. Telling you. When the Traveler and their companions helped the people of Simulanka understand Durin, he was no longer seen as an evil dragon, but as someone who just wanted to make some friends.
So, your mom and my mom were friends?
Something like that, buddy.
Our moms were friends, which makes you my big brother. My mom used to read your mom's stories.
Bro, I forgot Klee literally called Mini Durin her big brother. That is so fucking cute.
All the time. They were great.
In the end, Mini Durin left Simulanka and started living with Wanderer.
And I'll do what you say. I won't fly off on my own, I promise. Please, can I go?
It'll be up to you to stick close. If you disappear on me...
Now, with this mirroring the fate of Teyvat, what do y'all think this could even mean? Like, Mini Durin leaving the land and going somewhere else? Do you think that could be some, like, related to something else on Teyvat as well?
Don't expect me to come looking.
During the Archon quest, Albedo procures 2 other materials to turn him into a human. True. His head still seems to have his horns, while he also retains his 2 wings. Yeah, and I hope he doesn't get rid of those, dude. We currently can't see a lot of details about his new body. But considering that the flesh of an immortal monster from Mare Jivari was used for this... a part of his appearance is bound to have been affected by this mysterious flesh. Yeah, I hope it becomes scaly. Subject 2. Math. We were first introduced to a fake albedo during the Shadows Amid Snowstorms event. This albedo turned out to be a whopper flower who was mimicking albedo's appearance. Crazy sentence to say out loud, to be honest. However, even after defeating this whopper flower, a certain mystery still remained hidden from everyone. It turned out that this whopper flower was created by yet another albedo who we never met. Yeah, crazy, dude. Very weird. Albedo referred to himself as Bro, I have seen so many albedo family trees over the past week, I don't want to fucking talk about it anymore, and I don't want to see another one. I swear to God, I swear we got, like, albedo's cousins with fucking Mona or something. I don't know, it's some weird shit, dude. Genuinely, some of these family trees are so messed up, it's unreal. It makes everything look like Alabama. Albedo Obama or something, dude. According to him, Subject 2 was a failed creation of his masters that was eaten by Durin. After Durin crashed in Dragonspine, Subject 2 eventually escaped from its stomach and tried to eliminate the real albedo in an attempt to replace him. The event never specified what happened in the end, but only showed albedo walking somewhere with his sword. You had to go kill him, dude. This led to many theories, which tried to explain Subject 2's fate. During the Archon quest, albedo states that he indeed killed Subject 2 at that time. It is after this that Durin's corpse finally absorbed Subject 2's abilities, and was able to create monsters that had the same mimicking ability and infiltrated Mondstadt. Is Daddy on top of that mountain? Is that Joel, dude? Oh, fuck. Bro, now that we know this lore in this event, dude, Joel's dad, I swear to God, I don't think it's his dad, dude. I think, oh God, I think he's just as sus as we expected him. We had no reason to expect that he was that sus, but now I think he actually was. I feel so bad for Joel, dude. Despite knowing Subject 2's fate, the second mystery of that event still remains unsolved.
To introduce Yozerv. He's Joel's father.
No, he's fucking not.
Dad, this is that traveler I was telling you about.
Who exactly is Joel's father that returned from Dragonspine during the event? Oh god, he's Subject 3, dude. In the world quest Lost in the Snow, it is heavily implied that he died from falling down the mountain. The Yozerv that returns mentions of having no memories of his past before the fall.
The poor princess? Feeding the foxes?
I'm sorry. I have no recollection. Maybe it's because of the head trauma. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not. It's because you're a fucking imposter, you little bitch. This suspiciously sounds the same as how the fake Hertha didn't have any memories of her past. Yes, it does sound like that, doesn't it? However, the difference this time is that Yozerv seems to have a goal of his own. You think Diluc's the real father of Joel? That would be kind of crazy, right? Imagine Diluc's just the biggest, like, town slut. My god. And then Donna's like, I can't believe you've done this. Bro. Deadass, I could kind of see it. Like, why was he out at 1 AM that night anyway? Like, genuinely, unless it was a booty call. I still think it was a booty call. Kind of weird. However, the difference this time is that Yozerv seems to have a goal of his own. Unlike the imposters in Mondstadt, Yozerv actually wants to live with Joel again and support him as a father. Unlike the... Oh, yeah.
Right now,
sorry.
Joel. Oh, don't cry. Daddy's not going anywhere. I'm here to stay.
At the end of the quest, albedo removed Durin's heart from Dragonspine. True. Which he explained would eliminate Durin's influence in the imposters it created. Donna would be like, I can't believe you've done this, and not to me. True, dude. That sounds like Diluc. True. Lamar, wait, did Joel's father die? Okay, it's not a laughing matter, Yertan, but I think so, yeah, and I think this is actually a fucking imposter that wants to kill him eventually. We can still find Yozerv just like before, talking with his son in Dragonspine. Maybe the devs forgot about him and he will get a dialogue and face consequences later. The devs never forget. There is no such thing as coincidences in Teyvat. This is intended. Sadly. I think it might just be his dad. Or maybe it was albedo who used his alchemy to bring Yozerv back to life. Nah, absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. Because we would have seen that. And this is the first time we've seen, like, human trans-fucking-mogrification or whatever it's called. Not transmogrification, what's it called? Human transmutation. First time we've seen it. First time he's done it. He made it very clear it was the first time he's done it. Yeah, we would have seen that. We would have seen that. The Knight of Boreas. We also get to hear Varka's voice in this Archon quest. Yeah, YouTube comments, keep it a buck with me. What did you think of Varka's voice in different languages and stuff? I'll keep it real with you guys real quick. In Japanese, exactly as I expected it. In English, I expected it to be a little bit gruffier, you know? A little bit deeper. Not saying I'm mad at it. I just really don't want it to be a twink, to be honest. I just wanted it to be a bearded dude, and I'm trying to put that voice with the character, but I don't know. It kind of sounds like a, mid-20... I don't know. I need to see what he looks like. Bro, Nodcry comes, Varka comes to pick us up, dude. He either better be a chibi or a gruff, bearded badass. If we get a fucking twink, dude, if we get Japard, but skinnier... Then I'm waiting for Alice, I guess.
Alright, pass along my regards. Oh, and I still owe you for those drinks, don't I? Just take it from my stash. I keep it in...
I like how he sounds. Not necessarily the tone of voice or anything, but the way he speaks, the cadence, you know? Sounds like a fucking cowboy or something. I don't know. The way he thought Venti called him for the drinks he owned makes him seem like an extremely carefree person. True. Who enjoys the freedom of Mondstadt much like its Archon. We also get to look at his possible appearance in the game, bro. I swear, I said this as a joke a while back. I said, what if Varka and Alice are actually married and Varka's Clee's dad? And now this deadass just looks like Venti has officiated a wedding between Varka and possibly Alice, right? I'm not crazy. Yeah. Freedom, bitches. He seemed to have blonde hair and a tall male model, as this was him a few years ago. Yeah, please have a beard now. Venti said he isn't exactly a young person, but also not an old man. This likely means Varka's at least in his early 30s, but no older than 40 to 45. I need him to look like this guy, similar, you know, but not NPC though. In one of the profile voice lines, the Traveler and Paimon comparing to Farazan and Sitlali. What? So you can get a rough idea of how exactly he acts. Bro, that'd be fucking amazing. I would love that. Maybe he's another case of someone who looks young but is mentally old, just like Sitlali and Farazan? Possibly. I mean, he's had a long paper round.
She has served exceptionally well as acting Grandmaster. One can even say she is more reliable than Grandmaster Varka.
Oh.
Perhaps in our hearts, we all eagerly await the day she can become the official Grandmaster herself.
Sorry, why did bro just sound like Razor for a minute?
We all eagerly await the day she can become the official Grandmaster herself.
Like, Goddess of Prophecy. Did you know the entire plot of this quest was a prophecy revealed in Simulanka? Yeah, bozo, just like the entire past, 6 months. I swear to God, Simulanka has foreshadowed quite literally goddamn everything. It's kind of insane. My God, it's insane.
To return to our previous discussion, Mr. Hat Guy, you were telling me about a prophecy?
Yep.
I heard B talking to M. What she said was...
Since you're so persistent, let me tell you a secret.
Uh-huh.
Our child will one day rise from the dead.
Insane.
If the prophecy is true, and Durin's heart will one day beat again, I'd like to hope that whatever rises from the dead is no evil dragon.
Which is why he planned to replace the original Durin with Mini Durin.
His mind will soon come back to life. We will need Mini Durin's help, as well as yours, given that your fates are now intertwined.
Insane, right?
Well, that's a nuisance.
Wanderer is only mentioned once and doesn't play any important role in the quest that we know of. During the trial, we meet Bio, Barbeloth herself, who appears as a Dodoko with a blue hat. So sick, dude.
You're just going to up and leave? Barbie?
I said the other day that Alice sounds like a mixture between GLaDOS from Portal and who else? I can't remember who else, but deadass dude. Yeah, the Stanley Parable guy. Oh my God, it's so good.
Just going to up and leave?
Barbie? She sounds so good. During the fight, she introduced herself as Barbeloth Trismegistus.
No need to thank me, of course. Just a small gesture of kindness from me, Barbeloth
Trismegistus. However, in the past, she was actually named Barbeloth Magistus, where Magistus meant great. Yeah, but doesn't Trismegistus mean thrice great? But after Mona became a student, she gave the Magistus name to Mona and started calling herself Trismegistus, which meant thrice as great, yeah. So as to distinguish herself from her student. Yeah. From Mona's story quest, we knew Mona didn't exactly like her very much and called her an old hag. I think Mona deep down loves Barbeloth, dude. I think she just gets really annoyed by her. In this Archon quest, Barbeloth asks us to boast to Mona about how we passed the trial. Oh dear God.
Should you feel the need to gloat profusely to that student of mine so she knows to up her game?
Yeah.
Be my guest.
Yeah, make her jealous. So it seems like the hatred between the master and the student is mutual. It's not a hatred. It's not.
Lovely tea party. But that'll do me for now. Until next time, my dearies.
Hell yeah, man.
I'm not a part of their Hexenzirkel. The idea of Erminsel exploration and formal tea parties just leaves me cold.
Erminsel exploration. Have I never seen that voice line? Erminsel exploration for the Hexenzirkel. What the fuck are you talking about? So it seems like the formal tea parties Lisa mentioned about them meant conducting trials. Why was that just left in there? Like, everybody knew about it. What the hell? The mage we see with Varka could also be Barbeloth based on the stars around her. Please no, please let it be Alice. Please be married to Alice. Although, to be fair, if that is Barbeloth, she ain't no old hag, dude. If that's an old hag, I'm 95. However, you might remember that Barbie's statue looked quite different in Simulanka. Yeah, she did have a bob cut, to be fair. To which Mona had a few words to say. Oh, yeah.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way that old hag looks anything like this.
Yeah.
When she was younger. Oh, actually, now that you mention it, this does remind me of the fashionista phase she wrote about in her diary.
Fair.
She can't hear me, can she?
Dunno.
I swear I just got chills down my spine.
Oh god. So it looks like in the recent years, Barbeloth has grown out her hair. Yes, it does, actually. It does. The gift we receive at the end is also very likely from Barbeloth. The dazzling, mysterious gift. So there is a very high chance it has something to do with the fate of Teyvat. Dropkick it into the sky and see what happens, dude. I swear.
World Starscape is no easy task.
Yup.
Old hag, I guess you do deserve the title of Trismegistus after all.
Aw, cute, man. The Gardener! Or, as we know him, Albedo. Albedo reveals that his master or mother, Rhinedottir, devoured the heart of Tiberius. In a very chill way, might I add. It was kind of crazy. This resulted in the ruler of life, or Tiberius, and Rhinedottir coexisting inside of a single body. This sounds similar to how Capitano and the Lord of the Night fused together into a single entity. Exactly what I said. If this grants Rhinedottir the ruler of life's powers, that would make her more powerful than all of the Archons combined. This incident alone brings the Hexenzirkel closest to the powers of the Heavenly Principles. True, it does. Since it would be too overpowered, perhaps there are many complications for Rhinedottir's actions. Maybe Tiberius still retains her authority and won't let Rhinedottir use her powers freely, probably. I would assume so. From Renova's interaction with Capitano, we know that Shades don't care about humans that much. Since helping them meant getting punished by the Heavenly Principles. Yeah, I'll fucking believe it when we see it, dude. We haven't seen no Heavenly Principles bullshit for 4 years now.
Turning the world on its head. Can we see its true colors?
Mm-hmm.
Pawns earned true freedom the moment they gained legs with which to run.
Yeah.
So, in the spirit of Rhinedottir, I prepared a little surprise for you.
Could it be that just as Barbeloth said to turn the world upside down, will Rhinedottir somehow use the ruler of life's powers to turn Teyvat's rule of life upside down? Making her creations of alchemy who were fake into real beings of Teyvat. That's kind of similar to something we heard before with the Jiria and in general the Fontaine Archon quest, am I right? The fact that the core of one of the 4 shades was found in a domain is a mystery in itself. Also true. Also true. How did the Shade of Life lose her core? Was she defeated by someone, perhaps Nibelung? Albedo said Rhinedottir finally found a bit of peace after devouring Tiberius. Yeah, which I assume is kind of similar to how Durin absorbed the powers of, like, Subject 2 and became more, like, learned how to use those abilities, right? And create people into shapeshifters and shit like that. And that she wasn't always so mad in her life, perhaps suggesting something changed her. Was it her pursuit of alchemy, or the abyss that these sinners used that caused her madness? Could the heart of Tiberius have been a cure to make her sane again? Seems like the reason behind her actions in the Cataclysm. True. May have been much more complex than what we thought before. Winnable. Regardless, using the Shade's power always comes with a price. Bro, what is this animation? What could be an equivalent exchange for power over the authority of life itself? It would be quite ironic if the price she pays for Tiberius' powers is giving up all the alchemical knowledge she gained over her lifetime. Unless, of course, that is exactly what she had been aiming for all along. Wait, that'd be kind of fucking huge, not gonna cap. To reach the pinnacle of creating life in all of Teyvat. Bro, dude, low-key, dude, that'd be kind of insane. Yeah, that was a great fucking video, dude. Great fucking video from Cat with Blue Hat. Wild.